They say no limits, Texas. As if anyone's afraid of the limit. Bigger banking, bigger screens, a bigger show. You show up to Texas Motor Speedway, and the only limit is yourself.
Everything's bitter. All right, I already screwed up the intro to that. I'm sorry, 3 Wide. Everything's bigger in Texas, including my screw-ups. So welcome to Sim TV and the 3 Wide Racing League Grand National Series from Texas. We're a little bit later in the season. Now the drivers have had time to adjust to these cars, Finney, and tonight we go racing at the 1.5 mile behemoth in Fort Worth.
Yeah, and this is actually the first time that 3 Wide as a league, they were testing out the K&N cars to use for this series in their Triple Crown back a few months ago. So now we're back here at Texas. So some of the guys in the field have a little bit of experience here. We had a pretty small field back then, have a much bigger field here with 25 guys ready to take the track.
So 25 drivers at this racetrack. Last time we were here, it was the old Texas. It was very abrasive. We saw some blown tires, a lot of tire fall off. Is this going to look different tonight?
I don't think so. I think if anything, it'll be a little bit better for these drivers. You know, obviously a newer surface is going to be a little bit less abrasive, a little bit less hard on the tires. Granted, though, turns 1 and 2 now reprofiled. It's going to be a little bit flatter, so it's going to ask a little bit more of the tires through those corners. So I think it's going to be kind of interesting to see how it plays out. I feel like we might see less of the tire failures, especially now that these guys are experienced with the car and the new tire model. So we kind of have to really just see what these guys are able to do here. As you got Eric Mickey.
Yeah, this is an interesting return to 3 Wide Racing League action. Eric Mickey back on track for the first time in 3 Wide Racing League in a very long time, and here he is just getting up to speed onto the back straightaway to set up for his qualifying laps. I don't know if I'd ever see Eric Mickey back here, but here he is getting ready to go racing. I expect him to be really good tonight as well. We know how talented he is.
Yeah, and it's been I think almost 2 years since we've seen him. He left pretty early in the 2018 Truck Series season. So nice to see him back, to see him just warm up his tires.
And probably going to give away this whole first lap just to warming up because he knows lap 2 is the only one that matters. Josh Clark is fully up to speed though as he rockets down into turn 1. And again, this racetrack very different than it was the last time we were here with these cars. So I think we're going to see something totally different tonight. We're going to see a lot more single line action through 1 and 2. 3 and 4 though, this is kind of the same corner it was before. We're going to see some drivers kind of experimenting, but I'm really curious to see what the grip level's like out there. It's a little bit toasty, 99-degree track surface temperature, so it's not going to be slick per se, but it's not going to be super grippy either.
Yeah, it's pretty warm, obviously, with the track being in Texas. You gotta expect that. But Josh Clark across the line, he's going to set the first time, one of the first times down as everyone else is working their way on through.
And so it's about a 1/10 of a second that Justin Kolb goes up over the 28 car as he heads down the long back straightaway. Sam Close out on track. Nick Indelicato is waiting on pit lane to get his run started. One of the drivers that is having a spectacular season so far, so we'll see how he stacks up. Carlos Acosta last night was running okay, had some issues in the linear race with the super late models, looking to get back out on track and maybe recover some of that tonight, although he has had a lot of bad luck in this particular car this season.
Yeah, we'll see if he can turn that around here as he's coming out of turn 4 here. This should be his first time lap across the line for him.
30.134, going to be good enough for 4th place at the moment. Corey Lindsay just lays down a time. That was good enough for 10th on the grid. Brett Miller back out on track, and Nathan Velez as well. So everyone looks like they're out here, with the exception of Justin Gable, Matt Grunberg, Jeffrey Fisher, and Chad Frankville. So there's some heavy hitters that have not yet gone out on the racetrack. Not sure they'll have enough time to get a lap in here if they wait too much longer.
Yeah, and you really need to get out of pit road about, with a little under 2 minutes remaining, maybe about a minute 45 is when you got to start making your run. Otherwise, you're going to run out of time with pretty much 30-second laps around here.
Matt Hackathorn in the 84 car, in the Valley Date car. A really good night last night. Try to repeat that success, but not a great qualifying effort here.
He's shifting through the corner. It sounded like he was. Maybe just my ears.
I think it's just your ears. I don't think the gear ratios are quite good enough for that. You should have plenty of speed as Eric Mickey goes right to the top of the board on his one and only lap. So that strategy paid off for him. We'll see if he can top the charts in his return back to 3-Wide Racing League. Nick Indelicato accelerates on the racetrack here, Finny.
Yeah, and currently is second in the points, trailing Matt Grunberg by 21 points. So looking to try to get a leg up on the 54 car here. We're seeing him pretty slow on his first lap, just taking it easy. Really, it's going to be a matter, I think, of building up heat in the tires. You saw Eric Mickey did a good job of that. He's able to go up. He's currently now P2. He was knocked down by Kevin Finn in the 14. Currently sitting on pole.
Chad Frankfield out on track in the bright yellow Menards car, kind of sidestepping through 3 and 4 just a little bit. Out of turn number 4, he'll come on through. This should be lap number 1, a 30.2, and we're expecting to pick up a lot of pace on this second lap here. So look at the banking here. A lot flatter in 1 and 2 than it used to be. And in just a moment, we'll take a look at what the track map looks like here. Finny, pretty straightforward, 1.5 mile oval. But Frankfield works his way down the long back straightaway. It looks like the bottom 5 drivers have not yet attempted to qualify.
Yeah, they're definitely not going to be able to put in a lap now. So they're electing to start from the back. And yeah, as you're saying earlier, a lot of heavy hitters in that group, but Chad Frankfield going to rocket across the start-finish line. It's going to be 29.986.
Good enough for 3rd, and he'll go P3.
Solid time for Frankenfield.
So while the rest of the field finishes up their qualifying effort, Nick Indelicato coming around for a second lap, and 29.831. Good enough for pole, right, is the end there.
Wow,
so he'll
like
jump
quite
up.
a bit, too. Look at that.
Full 10th.
Over a 10th, yeah. Still a solid gap in the impressive stuff.
So here's a look at Texas Motor Speedway, a 1.5 mile racetrack here, and we'll head on down to show you kind of the differences between this one and the previous version of this racetrack. Turns 1 and 2 widened and flattened down quite a bit. That has made the inside line very, very good down there. The outside line, you better not get out of that inside groove there.
Yeah, it really is a lot more useful to use. Really just the bottom 2 lanes. The rest of the turn is not that useful due to the lack in banking. So a lot of guys bottom feeding down there. Turn 3 and 4 haven't really changed a whole lot other than just freshly paved. Got some new asphalt down there to help these guys. It's going to be more grip for these guys to work with.
So that's a look at Texas Motor Speedway. We'll head back to the racetrack here in just a moment and get the gridding process underway. The 51 car, again, you mentioned second in the points, trailing Matt Gruenberg, who did not get a lap time in.
He'll be in the front somehow, some way.
Yeah,
he's
he's just too good not to be up front. So one more look at the weather before we get rolling. Daytime again here. The track temp dropped a little bit, but again, the sun is out. It's a little bit later in the day, so we might see the temp come down a little bit ambient, all the way down at 73. So we could see that track surface drop, especially as the shadows elongate on the backstretch.
Yeah, it really has a chance of cooling down. So we'll see if that, and especially if a cloud comes over. There's partly cloudy out there, so that would also bring down the temps quite a bit.
At the end of the day, the driver at the top of this scoring pylon. It's a 117-lap race. That's about 58 minutes if we roll green from start to finish, which is a very high possibility. The last time we were here at Texas, it went pretty green. There was a long green flag run, which we saw some tires blow on that older asphalt. So really interested to see what the tires look like at the end of this race here. Waiting for Corey Lindsay to jump on the grid. He's the last person we need before we go rolling here tonight. So let's roll through the starting grid. On the front row tonight, it's going to be Nick Indelicato in the 51 and Kevin Finn in the 14.
Yep, and then behind those 2 drivers, back in row number 2 is going to be Eric Mickey in the 88, making his return to 3-wide action. Next to him, Chad Frankenfield in 4th in the 15.
In 5th place tonight, Justin Kolb out of California, and Tanner Sharp to his outside, the number 3. He rolls off in 6th.
Moving on back to 7th place is going to be Brandon Kluser, who's in the 94 from Canada. Next to him, Michael Goodman in the 44, lining up an 8. Solid effort from Goodman.
In 9th place tonight, Sam Close out of the Carolinas in his number 5, and Carlos Acosta, a row 5 starting spot for the number 2 out of Florida tonight.
Moving on back to row number 6, it's Corey Lindsay in the 00 and 11 from Pennsylvania. Next to him, Brent Miller in 12th in the 89 car.
In 13th, Josh Clark in the 28, and Jess Story rolls off 14th in his number 7.
Back in the 15th place spot is going to be Race Clark in the 22 from Carolina. Next to him, Matt Hagathorn in 16th in the 84 from the Northwest.
And back in 17th place, Richard Hines in the 87. Frank Sims rolls off an 18th in his number 75. We'll let the rest of those finish out and scroll in here as we enter turn number 3 and get ready to go racing this evening. Again, 117 laps. And the first couple laps is going to be really interesting to see how close these drivers stay with that extra grip around this racetrack, or if we'll see them spread out and kind of get how it was last time we were here. Really interested to see how this is going to play out here. So, rolling through turns 3 and 4, coming to the green flag. Fans packed into stands here as we roll out of the final corner. In just a moment, flagman with the green flag, waiting to be dropped. They really need to furl that, don't they? Pace car pulls off, and this time we're going green. The 3-wide Grand National Series, the next round of the championship is green. Green flag flies, and we're racing in Fort Worth, Texas. Leader gets away clean. Eric Mickey to second place, but they're side by side on the back straight here, Finian.
Yeah, and Kevin Finn got a poor start off the line, and you see him falling victim now as Mickey is trying to work on that inside lane to take away and clear that second spot. Indeed, off of 4, looks like he's barely going to be able to.
Oh, here comes the 52, taking a look to the inside. He'll stay tucked in line for now, but Mickey wants this spot. He should have it down here in 1 and 2. The bottom going to be the preferred line. Behind him, you see Frankfield up the inside. He completes a pass on the 3 car. Tanner Sharp, he drops to 6th.
Yeah, Cove now working to the inside of Kevin Finn. Finn gonna potentially have a chance of making a move back on the outside. A lot more effective in 3 and 4 than it is in 1 and 2.
I just don't think there's going to be any grip up there in the opening couple laps. We have to wait for the rubber to work in that outer line, but we haven't really seen the dynamic track really functioning properly since this new build back in March. So I'm not sure that the outside line will ever come in. We're going to have to just see over the course of the day. We haven't actually seen stock cars race here since Outsiders ran, and they ran into the dark. So that totally changes how this track dynamic works.
And Finn going to slot himself right behind Chad Frankiel in 5th place as Indelicado's pulled out to almost an 0.8 of a second lead over Eric Mickey.
There's Jess Story in the number 7. Try to work over Corey Lindsay. Big slide for the 7 car in the final corner. And behind him, you see Drew Eisenman up the racetrack. Kind of surprised about where he started this night.
Yeah, started back in 19s, only up into 18s. It was a slow climb forward. Obviously, we're only on lap 4 of 117, so it's got a lot of time to work with, but still pretty far back in the field.
Some drivers fighting it out back there. There's the 44 car. That is Michael Goodman, and he rides back in 9th place. And here comes Sam Close to the outside in the 5, that Nutter Butter car. But at the front of the field, Nick Indelicato has been leading this race, but Eric Mickey is starting to track him down. We've got a battle for 3rd. Here comes Frankenfield to the inside.
Yeah, he's wasting no time trying to move up to the front to dive to the inside of the 52 of Code. You see Code trying to use that outside lane, but that inside lane, that's too good. Gonna actually clear the 52 off of turn 2.
He's gonna leave him space, though, to get back to the outside lane, and gonna run side by side off into turn 3 again. Now Frankenfield clears him for that 3rd spot. But Mickey closing down the lead to 0.4 of a second as they come out of turn 4. Here's a look with 180 miles.
The car spun in the background, and it's Kevin Finn.
Oh, this is bad.
Oh, Acosta got.
Gonna get slammed by the 7 car of Just Story. And a horrible collision on the front straightaway leaves that car absolutely destroyed. They'll pull away with the hood up over the top of the windshield.
Yeah, the wheel dangling on for dear life.
Well, that was a big, big wreck on the front straightaway. I think he was following a group of cars and couldn't see what was happening. Oh, he's going to understeer. Almost got in a 14 car again. Around the racetrack. So let's go back and take a look at how this all started. It's a pretty gnarly hit. So 14 of Kevin Finn. He was already turned sideways. Was there contact from the 3 maybe?
There might have been.
Oh, right there. Big contact.
Yeah.
A lot of contact, actually. Turns him right around, kept pushing him. And right here, he slides back across the racetrack. You're just hoping he won't get hit. And passenger side impact, that has got to be at least 160 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's definitely going to hurt.
Look at this slow motion. You're just hoping and praying you don't get hit. He would have been fine had he not gotten hit. Right here is the big boom. 7 was following Corey Lindsay right here.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, man. T-boned.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to go back a little bit and kind of look at this from a slightly larger perspective here. Wanted to see who else kind of got a little bit of damage out of this. The 3 car just gets up under here, just kind of lifts his rear tires up, keeps going, and just turns them all the way around. A couple cars take to the grass. Oh, we'll run on board with the 7 car as well. Inside Jeff Story's cockpit. He checks up, and right there he just pops out and
yeah, he can see anything because I think he was thinking the car was going to be in the left side of the track, and he can see the smoke that was covering the 14. So yeah, unfortunately couldn't avoid that incident. On the bright side, at least, I guess, quote unquote bright side for the 14 Kevin Finn, it looked like he got just knocked in the door. So the car might be okay. Maybe not.
Pretty heavily destroyed. Meanwhile, we've had all the field pit except for the top 4. So Eric Mickey, Justin Kolb, Brandon Kloosterhuis, Matt Hackathorn have all elected to stay out under that caution. He's 6-7 laps in. I'm not sure that tires are the call, but maybe we'll think differently. Maybe that is the call.
I don't know. I'm interested in seeing. So that means that Indelicato is the first car with fresh tires in the 51.
Was the leader before the pit stop sequence.
So yeah, I'm interested in seeing how this is going to work out as well. I think it might help him a bit to work through some traffic, although we have seen the passing being a little bit harder than usual, at least at the older Texas. So
yeah, the old Texas actually raced really nicely with these cars.
And I think literally every single person agrees with that.
Well, this track, it looks nicer, but it's ruined.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I like coming here because the track looks beautiful, because this is the newest oval that we have, newest major oval that we have. But yeah, they ruined the racing around here. It's a stupid decision. Yeah. If anything, they should have added more banking, not taking it away.
Yeah, I think they were hoping to get. I don't even know what they're.
I don't know what they're hoping, honestly.
They basically flattened out turns 1 and 2 to make it like Kentucky. And if you've been watching any Kentucky races the past couple of years, you shouldn't make your track like Kentucky.
No. Yeah, Kentucky, honestly, all things considered, it's kind of forgettable.
Well, I think a lot of people think that banking gives you more grip and thus makes it worse racing, but I don't know. I'd like to see the banking increase to like 30 degrees.
Yeah,
let's make it crazy. Why not?
Banking,
right? Everything's bigger in Texas. More banking, right?
Yeah, there you go.
All right, coming to the green flag here. It'll be lap number 9 of 117, so a long way to go. Mickey out front. Green flag back in the air. Brandon Klooster, who's working his way to 3rd, but he slides in the middle of 1 and 2. Here comes Indelicato up the inside. 3 wide for a moment, but the 84 just cannot turn on that banking outside of the bottom lane.
Yeah, I was trying to make a move maybe to the outside of Klooster, just about to run off the banking to get it done. And here comes Indelicato and Frankie Cole with fresher rubber to the inside of Klooster's.
Frankie a little bit tight on the bottom, but he's going to get it gathered back up. Justin Kolb in front. He's trying to run down Eric Mickey. Big slide for the 22 of Race Clark in the background.
Yeah, he's in a battle with the 89 of Brent Miller. They're battling it out for 7th place.
Them all offset like fighter jets at the exit of turn 2, just trying to find some kind of aero or mechanical grip to work with. Klooster is still trying to work back by the 84, down to the inside in turn 3. See if that outside can stick at all as we got the car around. Oh, massive wreck out of turn 4. Oh, man, the 97 gets clobbered. What a mess. Michael Skinner's car. Our second caution, that was a big one.
Yeah, it was. Not sure who was the first car to spin in that.
All of them. I don't really know. I think I saw, I want to say Nathan Velez?
No, it might have been Kevin Skinner.
He was right. Oh, right here. It's the 77 and okay. Now the turn.
Oh, it's Brent Miller.
Oh, Miller. Wow. Big hits there. Then who got it? Oh, it was the 75 of Frank Sims.
Yeah.
Close got a piece of that.
Eisman, I think, also got a piece. Velez got some damage as well, but looking at the
He just caught the apron and gets jacked up by the 28. Oh, man. Big hits there for a lot of cars.
Yeah, putting the new damage model to work.
Like it. Off into turn 3. Had behind him, he's going to just catch the apron right there. Gets loose, corrects, and he almost has it saved. The 21 just catches him and turns him hard into the wall. Wow. And then the 77, Eisenman got a piece of that. Look at Velez. Wow, his car destroyed.
Awesome.
Oh, it looks awesome until it corrects itself. Frank Sims gets the 97 as well, but we have to go back and look at this a little bit more.
I just love the way the back end. That's so cool.
Yeah, right here.
Sure, Miller doesn't think it's cool, but I think it's cool.
Well, if you're going to crash, you might as well have it be spectacular.
Yeah,
looking.
go in style.
Just catches the corner. And Michael Skinner, right there, gets caught by the side. Gate blast through the middle. And then Skinner turns back across the racetrack and right into the path of Frank Sims, who's going to come into this with a huge head of steam and just sled. He actually contacted the rear of the 97 with the windshield.
There's also someone's tire wedged in his car.
In the cockpit? Oh, goodness.
It's like it's a fifth wheel.
A lot of fifth wheels in Texas. That's not the one I was thinking of. But. So 12 laps in, we've got 2 cautions so far. Well, messy to start the night here, Finian, but the wrecks have been big ones. That took out at least 5 cars. Eisman, Skinner, Sims, Velez, and Miller.
We were talking about everything's bigger in Texas, so are the wrecks apparently tonight. Yeah, 2 cautions to slow our progress early on. And Indelicado with some slightly fresh tires now lined up in 3rd, so I think if I was Mickey, I'd be slightly concerned. Although I think Mickey's got good enough pace to even potentially hold off the 51 on those older tires. So it'll be interesting to see how this is going to play out here. And if Mickey can, that'd be awesome for him to get a win in his first returning back to the series. I found words. Eventually took a while.
So 13 laps in, 2 yellows. As we got about 2 laps to go, I think we'll take a break here for a second because we got a little, I don't really know what else to talk about. Nothing's really happened yet. So we'll be back in just a second. We'll take a break. Stick with us.
And I really...
We're not on break. I'm trying to figure out what to play. We'll be back in just a second. We'll try.
My father's father had 2 brothers and a sister. His older sister, Hazel, had married a man named Jim Yunker, and he was involved in the bottling business early on, as early as 1906 in Indianapolis, and he sold flavors. He would have had grape, cream soda, blood orange, ginger ale. In 1915, he got the franchise for Coca-Cola in Indianapolis. So then we fast forward 20 years later to 1935, Jim Yunker approached my grandfather and his 2 brothers and said the franchises in Kokomo, Logansport, and Peru are available for sale, and you guys want this. Trust me, you want to get in the Coca-Cola business.
Back to the restart here, lap number 15 after 2 cautions slowing the progress of 53 iRacing League Grand National Series so far. Eric Mickey is your leader. We've had a couple pit stops, but Nick Delicato is the first one on fresher tires back in third place. A couple heat cycles now on those Goodyears. Not sure if they'll be quite as effective. Green flag back in the air, lap 15. Oh, the 51 down to the inside. 3 wide out into the first corner. That was really dicey, but plenty of room down there. Just not a whole lot of raceable room.
Yeah.
Lanes up.
Yeah, I was going to say he's really taking advantage of how much extra pavement is down there in turn 1. Just immediately made a move to the inside, but Mickey got a great run off the 2 and is able to clear him back on that outside lane, so he's going to have to do that work all over again. Now looking off the back of the 50 jet, Franco Hackathorn in behind.
Here comes the 51. Take a look to the inside lane. Wow, Mickey shut the door, but now has to open it as the 51's got a lane inside. And I think he'll know that the 51 has fresher tires, but it's not doing him a whole lot of good stuck down the right of the bottom.
He's using the fact that 51's has a really shallow entry into the corner to his advantage, so that way he can't really get a good enough exit. Mickey and is able to defend with that. And Coben behind, he clips the apron a bit, but he's trying to ride him behind, take up some spots.
Grace Clark in the 22 and Josh Clark in the 28. They were side by side for a moment and moved the 22 up to 7th spot. There's Matt Gruenberg. Where did he start? Finishing all the way at the back 21st. He's now 9th.
Slowly creeping his way up into the fight here as we come on by next time through. It's going to be 100 laps to go.
Long way, and he's already gained half the spots he needs to gain. And Mickey beginning to pull away, so I'm not convinced that the tires were worth a lot. Again, we had 2 cautions, or actually 1 caution between when he got them and where we are now. To put a heat cycle on the tires, I'm not sure that they're going to be a big enough advantage with only 5 or 6 green flag laps on the 88's Goodyears. So we'll see if Mickey continues pulling away, but so far so good.
So good indeed. Looking behind, Race Clark making a move to the inside of Closer. He's in that 94.
You're doing the Indeed thing again, I just noticed.
Oh, am I?
Yeah.
You're doing so good.
We all have that one thing I think we kind of default to. That one, I say, what's the word? I
don't know.
No, you should know this.
I don't.
A little bit.
Whoa.
I say the word little bit a lot.
15 of Frankville going to the inside through the grass.
It's got a little bit of grass.
Yeah. Past the grass.
So move the 15 up to 3rd again. That's where he was before the first caution of the night. And Kolb will slot himself back and forth. Look at this action out of turn 2. This is getting a little wild.
We're trying to make a move against it. Can't get it done. There you see the 28 Clark on that outside lane.
A lot of movement in 3 and 4. These cars are a little bit looser than I thought. See, I just did it. I just did it a little bit. Now I'm conscious of it. It's going to drive me crazy for the rest of the night. Oh, man.
Clark almost gets into the wall trying to fall in behind these guys.
Okay, now we're racing. 94 and 28, a little out of line. See, I'm trying, okay? I'm trying to be better. There's Gruenberg. This is going for now, was that 7th spot? No, make it 6th if he can complete this pass.
He's been working through the field pretty well here, trying to make a pass to the inside of Clark. And it looks like he's going to get the pass done off before Clark almost hits the wall.
The Gable's in the grass.
Yeah. But Gable's into the grass, trying to, as Gable's trying to get on by.
Damn, close now under attack from Tanner Sharp. That's a teammate right behind him. Sam? No, Sam's not a teammate. I'm sorry. Oh, big block down into turn 3.
We're not teammates.
Yep, I think we've satisfied that. Maybe not even friends.
After Clark going to make a move to the outside. Take advantage of that from the 3 of Tanner Sharp. And Sharp, I haven't seen a lot of them. I was expecting to see him more towards the front. That Mountain Dew machine.
A little surprised. Was the Mountain Dew logo like, whoa, the 28 hard left down to the inside to get underneath Sam Close. I was going to ask, was the Mountain Dew logo like this in the early 2000s or has it changed? I'm curious if he's running a retro logo or if that's what the logo was back then. I think it was different, right? Five working around the outside, trying to get that spot back. Hole closes on corner exit, and the 3 of Tanner Sharp goes on by. Oh, no, it was the same.
No, it was.
Oh, it was different. Oh, yeah. He should have run the older logo on it. It would be cool. Great battles here for what is ultimately going to be 9th place. Look at Richard Hines. Oh! 94 slams the inside wall. The third caution of the night is out.
He turned him. Oh, no, he turned him. They're in the same place, too. They were almost pretty much on the straightaway.
Yeah, well, they were on the straightaway. They I think he came out, and as they came out of the corner, yeah, it was a big block, and the 87 just turned back to the right. And he's very lucky that opening wasn't still there. He would have caught that. It would have been a gnarly hit. Let's go back a little farther.
I think Hines just miscalculated the speed that they were going at, the difference in speed.
Yeah, right here. He's going to turn back to the right to swing back that. I don't think it's just the slightest of touches. And this all happened so fast. I was right on board with the 87. And Booster, who to his credit, did a good job blocking that move. Right there. Turned him. Right on board with the 94. That's a gut-wrenching feeling. At least the good news for him is that he actually was so close to the wall to begin with that he actually didn't hit it all that hard. That car is repairable, and I expect we'll see him kind of back in position here a little bit later in the night. So, field heading back down pit lane, this time pretty much everybody.
Everyone's coming in to get on the same cycle, I imagine. It'll be the first time for Mickey making his trip on down, so we'll see if he can retain the leader, or we could see maybe a pass on pit road.
I think Indelicato might walk out of here with that first pit stop, and Hackathorn either missed his box or never planned to come.
I think he probably might have missed his box.
Oh, a little ways back. See it even in frame here. Here comes the 54. See, did he try a two-tire stop?
Ooh, Frankenfield and Mickey. It's going to be Frankenfield that gets a better exit off of pit road, and he's going to beat Mickey to the line, and then Indelicato. I'm actually surprised that he only came off third. I thought he was going to be back further after he slipped through his box.
So Indelicato comes out in fourth behind Eric Mickey. So Hackathorn leads the way, but we do expect him to come down to pit lane the next minute or two and get tires on that car, but he'll have to sacrifice a lot of track position. The other thing he could do is just try to hang on for a few laps, because you're getting yellows that he's going to already hit the apron. So coming back down, Indelicato also on the apron.
You got to make a trip back down.
I don't think so. I think he's just down there on the flat. He's one of the only Camrys in the field. I like this old Camry. I think it never actually ran like this in any series, but I think it's cool to kind of envision what a pre-2004, 3. No, actually, this would have been 2001 or previous Camry. 2002 there was a refresh, and
I like the actual model they ran, the 07 one. That one was really nice. That was a really good looking car.
It really fit well on the Gen 4 body, I thought. And I think the Camry, this is a hot take here. I always thought the Camry fit, either it fit the cars the best or it looked the most like the stock car more than any other
I think it's
body style. And that was true up until the Mustang came out, and I think the Mustang might, because it's just a little boxier, the Mustang might be a little bit truer, but man, if the Dodge Charger had ever run in the Gen 6 platform, oh, it's so pretty. See, this was originally, before they refreshed the car, that one there, no one can see what we're looking at. That was how it was drafted, and then they refreshed the car for the 2008-7 model year. That's when we got that. So, which always looked really nice, I thought. Yeah, I really like that. Everyone, the real life Toyota Camry in 2007 and 2011 was extraordinarily boring.
Yeah.
But on a race car, I liked how it looked.
I was gonna say, I really love to see the Accord. Like, Honda's styling the last few years has been really nice.
Yeah,
they've been nailing it.
I don't know where Honda is. I think the problem is every time we talk about Honda, I think we have to remember the scale of these companies. I honestly didn't realize this, but Toyota sells 3 times as many cars as Honda.
Yeah,
I didn't realize it was that skewed. I thought they were like 50-50, but on a global scale, Honda isn't that big of a company, which surprises me because I thought they had as much money as Toyota did.
Yeah.
But I think that's why we don't see them in NASCAR as a.
Doesn't Toyota have some other brands that are, like, besides its affiliation with what's their
Acura?
No, I'm talking about Toyota.
Oh, Toyota. Toyota isn't.
Besides Lexus and Scion, which is like kind of the same.
Toyota owns a bunch of stuff now, but they are not owned by anybody else.
Right.
So it's like GM, Volkswagen, and like Toyota are like the 3 massive
conglomerates,
right? Although Toyota doesn't own a lot other than the ones that you already mentioned. They own a few like random like companies that I list, but they don't own anything. Like Volkswagen owns like all the big brands that you're familiar with, and GM as well.
I think it's because Toyota I think does a lot better in like third world countries or smaller countries than Honda. Honda's I think much better.
They own most of Subaru. That's a good.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
But yeah, Subaru isn't all. Yeah, it's. Okay, Volkswagen's like Volkswagen, Audi.
It's a lot.
It's Lamborghini. It's all the ones that people care about. Okay? All the European brands that you care about, Volkswagen probably owns it.
Yeah, no, that's definitely fair.
That being said, again, I was always like, why isn't Honda in NASCAR? Because they really don't. I mean, they don't have a lot of money to throw around. They're not as much as
they're in literally everything else, but that's where all the money's going. It's everything else.
Exactly. They can't spread themselves evenly. But all right, green flag back in the air, lap number 28 of 117. Great restart for the 15 car. Mickey got swallowed alive. Broomberg's now up inside the top 5. That is a dangerous thing for everybody else.
Goodman only got a piece of the wall coming off the corner.
I love this camera. Oh, a little 3 wide action back there in the field. There's 94 Kluster, who's right in the middle of all that. Corey Lindsay in the 00. And there's the 44 Goodman way up top.
He's trying to rip the high lane, but it's just not working out that much.
Did you say ripping the Larson line? Well, the Larson line is out of the paddock, so that's...
Yeah, I was going to say, you can't really call it that anymore because you're on the...
Yikes. All right, for the lead, here comes in Delicato up the outside. He'll have a look. Look at the 52, having a really good night. Drives right up to the tailpipes.
Yeah, I'm trying to make a move now on him as Cobb's also in behind. He's been just a 52 Nintendo car. He's kind of observing the guys in the front, but has remained inside the top 5 for most of...
Larson crossed the line. It's the Larson line.
Oh, look, there is Matt Grunberg lined up.
I told you, P5, baby, he's coming. Meanwhile, behind him, a big group of cars. This is 7th on back. Gable, wow, look at this side by side. There's Race Clark up the outside group.
They got really close to touring each other. If not, did tour each other going to 1, and I see Gable slide up in front of the 22.
Look at the 3 car on the apron out of turn 2.
Trying to get a good run off the corner and build up a run to the inside of the 13, and Gable now going to make a dive down into turn 3.
Yeah, this is going to be a little bit frustrating because there's a lot of grip out here, so we're seeing a lot of drivers get kind of bunched up like this, but they're having trouble going places, I think. They get kind of locked side by side. No really for them to go. Meanwhile, at the front of the field, all the front 3 nice and evenly in line. The group behind him, though, looks like a hornet's nest.
Gable pretty far out of the lane. He's out of the black stuff where a lot of the rubber's been put down, so it's just losing grip on the outside lane. There you see Sharp trying to take advantage of that. Here comes Clark up the inside.
Oh, man, that's going to get real tight, and the 13 goes sailing up the track in turns 3 and 4. He'll correct it and pull it back down, but a big split ahead of turn 4.
Yeah, even Sharp struggling out of the corner as you're trying to speak.
He didn't even miss the beat. Just picked right up for my Vince Wilkes moment.
In behind. Close almost.
You're good there?
Yeah. Close almost dumped him there going into 1. Now here comes 09 to Miller. So Sharp now starting to...
Oh, in behind. They're side by side. I'm having fun. James Miller to the bottom of the racetrack, right underneath the 3 car, and behind him there is Carlos Acosta. Haven't talked about him a whole lot today. Started 10th, he fell back a little bit, but here he is trying to battle his way back forward.
Yeah, I was gonna say he was running really well earlier. I think I saw him as high as 7th, so he was running pretty well. Has kind of fallen off a little bit back into 13th, so has some work cut out for him. Also, a driver that has had some work cut out for him is 54 Grunberg, working from the back to the front. Inside the top 5 now, trying to make a move.
Whoa!
Mickey has
Leader got the fence into turn 3.
Yeah.
They're going to move over, and Delicato goes back by a 5-car breakaway. But what happened to Frankenfield? He's kind of lost speed.
I think just got a piece of the wall, and then you've seen a lot of these guys, maybe move out just a little bit to the right before turning back left into the corner. So I think he might have caught a piece of the wall in entry, and that ruined his line.
88 still trying to make his time up from the restart. And Race Clark and Josh Clark, they've been tit for tat tonight. The 5-car trying to go up the middle. That hole closed. Here comes the 3 to the bottom of the racetrack. Those 2 are not on friendly terms right now either.
Yeah, Sharp's not been afraid to dip a wheel below the white line.
Oh, this is going to be a mess back here. James James Miller won one of the linear races last night. Was on his roof for the other one. Oh, Chad Frainfield losing more spots at the front of the field. I don't see any damage on that car, but he seems to be either getting tight or pushing up because he just dropped 3 more spots.
Yeah, I think he's got shovel out of line. He's also definitely not going to help him 1 and 2. Meanwhile, 3 wide coming out of 2 for this group of cars. It's going to be Clark that wins that battle.
Josh Clark that wins it, and we'll head down the back straight. The 5 car going to make the hard left into 3. Try to squeak on by, clear him. You have to drive off really hard here to do it. Look at this group.
You're going to have James Miller to the inside of Race Clark in the 22, and now here comes Gable on a charge back after we saw him get shuffled out of line a few laps ago.
Sam close up to 7th. Out of the backstretch, here comes the 28 back on the 5.
Samco's going to try to turn back down to get clear of the 28, but Josh Clark going to force the issue here, almost dooring each other through the tri-oval, or quad-oval.
And now the 3 car right to the tailpipes of the 5. Ooh, that was real tight. And look at the run the 5 car got into turn 2. He's going to battle back alongside the 28. All the way down the backstretch.
You got really lucky that Tanner Sharp gave him the lane to work with, and now he's going to use that to his advantage. Now here it goes on the inside.
The 94, try to drive up the inside of the 22, aid to back out of that. You guys are racing hard right now for this spot.
They're doing everything they can get at the moment.
And the tires are going to start to fall off with them running so hard today. I have to wonder who's been beating up their stuff.
Definitely the 3 are Sharp and the 5 are close. They've been moving all over the track to make some moves happen. Speaking of which,
pretty fed up with each other at this point as well. The 3 backs out. Either that or they're having a whole lot of fun. You can never really know. James Miller tucking in behind the 3.
Here comes Gable. Great run off the corner. Almost made a move to the inside.
Look at the 22. The 22 has a huge run down into turn 1. He's going to dive underneath Gable.
Gable's been a little bit too, not patient, but he hasn't been, I guess, as aggressive as some of these other guys. So Race Clark was able to take advantage of that to the inside.
I think it's kind of a confidence thing. After you kind of get some laps on your tires, you kind of know what the car is going to do. You might get a little braver. Some of the drivers got braver right out of the gate. Mickey working his way back by Justin Kolb for 2nd. And again, the terrible restart for the 88. He's just trying to get his spots back and go after Indelicato, who started to drive away. But last time by, Mickey and Indelicato ran identical laps. And he's through to 2nd. Yeah,
now he should be able to run a little bit faster now that he's finally cleared the 52. Ooh, Cope looked like he was going to make a dive down into turn 3, but thought better of it.
He got through some of that mess, and he's going to go down the inside for 10th. Not quite clear, though. Sam Close throttles back up. He's going to be a little tight on that 4, real close to the wall, and now Race Clark sees an opportunity.
Yeah, you see a lot of these guys got on the throttle a little bit early on the high lane out of turn 4, and then just been drifting up to the wall.
Real slow into turn 1. Gable's going to go right on by. Clark throttles back up, going to try to make the outside groove work. We haven't really seen anybody try that yet, but it kind of worked.
They got a decent run off the corner, but again, Gable's going to have a little bit of a better entry to the corner than the 28. Gonna clear him.
He's gonna try the crossover here on a 4, but getting the throttle down a little earlier, unable to really do a whole lot with it, so he'll stay in line. 2 car a little slow out of 4. Wow, look at the 44 sideways on the front straight.
Jaws are drifting further back into 17th. Now looking at not Grunberg, it's Frankenfield. 15 to the inside of 52.
So they go back by after he lost his positions a few laps ago, so on through goes Chad Frankenfield, back up at the front. Nick Indelicato continues to lead this race. We work lap number 44. Eric Mickey, that time through, was a hair slower. And now Matt Grunberg, he was the fastest of everybody in the field right now, right on the rear bumper of the Bombshell Racing Team car.
Yeah, and Mickey running slower lap times than Indelicato, so he's starting to fall off the pace here.
Look at this front 5, they have just checked out.
And that's really, I think, due to a lot of these guys in behind just battling to their heart's content. Fortunately, with them, they've been losing time.
Look at this, rewind for 14th.
Nine's pretty far out of line on that outside lane. It's going to be Goodman that gets the spot.
If Klusterhuis can fire up the inside. Matt Grunberg goes to 2nd on Eric Mickey.
Not quite clear just yet.
Yeah, I think
he's trying to get a run.
He will be when they get down to turn 3, though, I think. Not enough grip on the high side to really hold that line just yet. Mickey gonna try to maybe cross him over. They have a run.
Yeah, nowhere to really go. You try to make a move to the inside, but you risk turning the guy in front.
You kind of get in the grass too. I think is what we've seen. A couple. There's actually tire marks through the grass from everyone extending the racetrack a little bit. Hey, they widened turn 1 and 2. Now they want the straightaway widened as well. It's so funny because the straightaway could use widening. Turns 1 and 2 didn't need to be. We could only use one lane down there.
Yeah, they widened the wrong part of the track. I agree.
5 car. Actually, they should have made this place narrower. So they should have made it 1.5 lanes wide. So that's all you end up using anyway. Whoa, the 5 car. Hard shot to the left behind him. There's Hackathorn in the 84. He started his night in 16th place. It's been slow progress up as well.
Speaking of grass, there's the 84 ripping through a little bit of it to get through the inside of the 5 of Sam Close.
10 to the lawn of Texas Motor Speedway. You're business set for the next couple months while they repair everything the drivers are tearing up.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I guess it's expensive. I was going to say faster.
It's not a great solution. I know it's expensive to install. And I think I'm not sure how much grass maintenance costs racetracks, but I can't imagine turf is that much better. So it lasts for probably a couple of years, then you got to replace it. Especially if you have someone go barrel rolling through it. Right. They might actually be cheaper in the long run, but you have to wonder if the pigmentation will stay in the hot Texas sun. If it'll bleach white.
Well, considering they wasted money on reprofiling turns 1 and 2, I'm sure they got a lot more.
We are not ever going to have Eddie Gossage in the SimTV booth, are we?
No, probably not. I mean, well, I'll be able to sleep at night.
Wow.
Knowing that. Major problem.
Hard hit in the wall out of that because it's out of turn 4. Let's go take a look.
Can't even see the number on the side of that car anymore. Wow.
That was a hard hit.
He was already, that was already before he's fallen back. He started to fall back more and more. That's how Kevin Finn caught up.
Oh. Just instantly, wow. Instantly smacked the barrier and knocked everything out of alignment there. So that's only going to get worse and worse. Yeah. I have to wonder about the condition of the tires. With the toe knocked out, how much more pressure is that going to put on that right front tire? How much more load is it going to place on it? Have to worry about running long green flag runs. We've run now 25 laps. We thought these cars go, like 38 to 40 before they started having issues on the old pavement.
Yeah.
They'll probably go farther on this, but not with damage.
That's something he's got to keep an eye on. Meanwhile, Frankenfield and Mickey duking it out for 13th. Yeah. Frankenfield got on by. Mickey trying to get back to him.
I think Mickey's kind of burned up his stuff a little bit. Did it again, a little bit, by the way. But we conclude lap number 50 this time through. And Delicado was a 1.1 second lead, and he was the quickest car on the racetrack last time through. Jason Gable and Kevin Finn trading spots for 7th.
This battle's kind of...
Woo! James Miller! That was real tight on the back straight.
His group caught up. They're initially behind Kevin Finn, and he had a pretty sizable gap to him. Now they've caught back up and gone around him, and Miller...
Look at the yaw that car has.
Yeah. Miller and Sharp trying to duke it out now for 5th place. You can see the rest of the leader is up ahead. They're pretty far out of the picture.
All the off throttle time, all the way down to about 157 mid-corner. Back on. I wanted a version of this car with 900 horsepower. Wouldn't that be fun? Like a classic, the 2005 classic Cup car. Eric, whoa! Frankenfield slicing and dicing on the front straightaway. He'll collect himself, but drop back a spot. And he caught the wall out of turn 4, so some understeer starting for these cars. Yeah, safe though.
Was wrestling that car on the front straightaway. Yet definitely starting to see some understeer out of some of these guys. I really think it depends on how hard you're pushing the car. Some guys taking it easier than others.
Hitting the wall is certainly not helping. Frankenfield is going to run way slower now at that right side damage. You already see him at the front of this shot. So we have to start thinking about when you're going to be coming down for pit stops here. Where again, we're fairly deep into this run.
And Delicado's expanded his lead to Grimberg to 1.4 seconds.
Oh, Sam Close. I'm not sure if that's a spin or if that's a pit stop.
I think that's a spin. If not, that's a really bad pit stop.
Get back on track. There's some right side damage on that car. Back rolling. Oh yeah. Uh-oh. there was 2 cars down there I saw.
Whoa.
A little bit of contact there, and then also the 48 car I thought I saw down here, Nathan Velez. Oh, he's in his box. I thought he was turned sideways.
He's gonna get a penalty from that. I'm not sure if he'll be able to get it cleared or not.
I would imagine that they would, or something like that. Kind of got himself turned around, so he'll head to pit lane now. Dustin Kolb drops all the way back to 10th. And Frankenfield now going to fall into the clutches soon of Tanner Sharp, although he's still about 2/10 off the pace. That damage is hurting him. Carlos Acosta returning to the racetrack. He's 6 laps down. Let's see how he found himself 6 laps down.
Yeah, I mean, the car looks...
Oh, no, there's some right side damage on it.
Yeah, but this is bad enough to the point where he would pit. Yeah, at least for take 6 laps worth of repairs for that, so... Not quite sure what's happening too.
So if this race goes green to the end, about 30 minutes worth of racing. Do we have a favorite? I think any of the top 3 could win. It's just how they play the strategy.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I mean, you can even still put in Frankenfield, you know, if it comes down to a caution, I think Frankenfield might have a shot as well, but definitely the top 4 at the moment. Top 3 of which all within 4 seconds of each other, making even, despite him pushing early and starting to fall to pace now, he's still running a decent gap to the leaders up ahead. So maybe if he can play the strategy right, he can try to get himself back in the mix.
Here comes Gable to the inside of James Miller. This is on the exit of turn 4. And I believe we're at halfway next time by. They're trying to respond on the outside. There's the 3 of Tanner Sharp. He's a little slow through 1 and 2. Miller lifts and lets Gable back in line.
Behind them for 10th place seems to be a decently close battle going on as Gable trying to work the outside lane.
They've been having a good fight here for 5th spot. I think we're going to keep our eyes on this. Tanner Sharp is a little bit off pace, or at least was the previous lap, 31.4 to Gable's 31.2. Miller also a little slow, had a bit of a checkup in turn 2 this time through.
Yeah, even had a pretty poor exit out of 4 as well, so he's losing a bit of time to Gable up ahead. And now these 2 guys trying to settle in amongst themselves for 5th place.
So are we going to try to see these guys go on one more stop? I think they might be able to do it if they could go another 10 to 15 laps, but they've already been out here for 35, so who knows?
I think you're getting to the point where you can almost do it on... if you can stay out for another 10, 15, I think they can potentially make it on one stop. I think it's going to be a big matter, though, is that these guys have been taking care of their tires and can take them another 15 laps. You said a lot of these guys are starting to understeer.
Well, Nick Delicato's been taking plenty care of his tires. Continues to lap about a tenth of a second quicker than anybody else out on the racetrack. Broomberg in second. His gap continues to fall, 1.8 that last time through. Maybe now it's a good time for a Sim TV sound surge. Let's crank it up. extended sound surge here. Pit stops underway here, Finney. And so one driver's already coming down pit lane. That was James Miller of the 09. They could probably go to the end here. 47 laps?
Yeah, they can definitely make it to the end. They've gone pretty much 45-ish laps on this run itself, so pretty much at the point where they need to make their one and only pit stop, at least for the remainder of this race, if we stay green. And it looks like we will, because these guys pretty spread out at the moment.
And now we have a battle for fourth place. It's Eric Mickey, Chad Frankenfield, and Tanner Sharp. So we're kind of seeing how the tires have kind of worn for some of these drivers. Comers and goers, just like we saw the driver that we were mentioning during Sound Surge, Justin Gable up to third.
Yeah, he's just blowing on by Frankenfield and Mickey, and even Tanner Sharp's trying to do the same as I think Frankenfield and... Oh, Frankenfield. Oh, he's come down to the pits.
Yes.
I thought he had an accident or something. But Sharp also kind of in the same category as Gable's been taking care of his stuff and now working back up quickly as Mickey is quite burned up stuff.
It just seems like this has kind of elapsed very similarly to the race that we did here last season. It's just we're not quite seeing as much fall off, and the drivers are spreading out a lot more because turns 1 and 2 is so narrow in terms of the racing line that you're seeing drivers kind of get spread out that way. So Finn and Frankenfield on pit lane. Leaders have not yet come, but Nick and Delicato is absolutely crushing it right now in this 51.
Yeah, I'm amazed that Eric Mickey hasn't taken the chance to come down pit road because he's really falling off on his tires in comparison to the other guys around him, and a lot of the guys around him have come in or are coming in at the moment. So might fall behind strategy on that point, but I'm curious also to see between the 51 and the 50 to make the trip on down first. Give them a little bit of an advantage in the short.
Up and into the chat. We haven't seen Paul in a very long time. Good to see you, Paul. Delicato continues to lead this race. We're getting down to the last 20 or so minutes of this. So what do Grunberg and Gable have to do if they want to leapfrog this 51? Do you come early? I mean, we haven't seen a lot of drop-off. A second and a half isn't really that much for one of these ovals. So short pit or the overcut?
I would short pit. I mean, it would definitely help to at least get ahead of the guy in front, and then you can try to defend. You have some sort of leverage that way than trying to chase him back down. Unless Grunberg feels really comfortable on his pace to the point where he can run well without burning up his stuff, then I would say try the overcut.
Smoke coming from the pit lane, so somebody's had a very smoky pit exit. Michael Skinner in the 97, he's only a lap down to the leader. I think he's already come in and made his pit stop. No, has not. So he runs in 12th. He had a couple issues earlier today. That dent on the right side of the car and the left rear is a little bit jacked up. There goes the 52 of Kolb on through. Kolb now moves into 12th place. That was for position. Remember, he smacked the wall out of turn 4, I want to say. It might have been turn 2, actually.
No, it was turn 4.
Was it turn 4? He's dropped down the order significantly. Was running inside the top 5, but as he comes around the corner, you'll see all that damage on the right front severely hurting and impacting that performance of the 52.
He has come down for his pit stop. That's why he's a lap down, so he's just kind of running this out to the end here from this point on this set of tires.
And Delicato hits pit lane from the lead, and interestingly, Grunberg stays out. Is that the call? You said that you'd rather see an undercut, but Grunberg's going to go for the overcut, it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, again, it really just comes down to how the driver feels about the car. They feel comfortable enough to push on the next part of the run to try to catch back up. I mean, that could be... I would say if there's any driver in the field that can do it, it's 54 Grunberg. We've seen he's got quite a bit of pace. No one can really argue with that. It's 21st all the way up to first. Actually, this will be the first lap since level race.
So for those that don't know the term undercut, overcut, I feel like those are mostly road racing terms. Undercut is when you pit before the driver in front to use fresher tires while they're still out on the racetrack on old tires. The overcut, you stay out really long, longer than the guy in front of you. He comes to pit lane, gets fresh tires, he uses them up. Then you come get fresh tires and try to chase him back down. That's what Grunberg's going to try to do here. I'm not convinced that that's a strategy to work with. I don't think the fall-off is enough to make that work, even less so than the undercut.
Yeah, I would definitely go for the overcut in this situation, but we'll have to see how it plays out for these guys. Meanwhile, Tanner Sharp's going to inherit the second-place spot. Mickey is currently in third.
There's Justin Gable on and off pit lane in his number 13 car. He started his night in 22nd, and he climbed up to third all on his own, and he's been continuing to impress. Ran really well at Lime Rock Park in the doubleheader a few weeks ago.
And he's set for definitely a solid top 5 finish, if anything. If this race runs green to the end, he's got some really good long run pace.
So now we're going to see Grunberg come in. To make this work, you have to stay out way longer, and I'm just not sure that he's got the fuel. Here he comes.
Yeah, I was going to say, you have to really look at the situation here, and you can't stay out too long, and you can't, you need enough laps at the end to make up the time by pushing.
Eric Mickey's also going to hit pit lane. No, he stays out this time through. So gonna go even longer. 44, Michael Goodman real tight as they come across the start-finish line.
Goodman with fresher tires, that's why he's trying to work on by the 88. There he goes.
And Mickey will let him go by that time. Race Clark.
Oh, and actually, that was for position, so Goodman's going to take
Oh,
the
wow.
lead.
Where did he come from? Has he hit yet? No.
Yeah.
He's up here on pace.
Wow.
That was impressive. We have not really talked about him yet tonight. But this would have been for about 4th place before the cycle happened.
Yeah, that's not surprising. Actually, I think it might be a little bit lower than that. Mickey's really falling off the pace. I think it might be around 6th and 7th, but still, Goodman's a lot higher than I thought he was going to be.
I'm really worried about this 88 here because this is what we saw the last time we were at Texas with these cars. We saw the lap times drop off like a cliff, and then the tire blew. He's dropped off now a full second off of everybody else. I think this tire's about to go in this 88 car. He's got to hit pit lane soon.
Yeah, I think I think for Mickey, he's just out here for wins. I think he's trying to just hope a caution comes out, and he just gets lucky because I think he feels that he's got no shot of getting back up to the lead.
I think he's got no shot of getting a caution. I mean, we've been green for a long time.
Well, if someone's arms itchy.
He's lapping really off the pace, and there goes Goodman hitting pit lane. Now we're going to see if his lap times return to the mid-31s, they'll feel better. If he's over a 32, 32.2. We saw this at Texas, and I actually called it about a quarter before it happened last time we were at this racetrack. It just blew up the racetrack. I think it was, I'm trying to remember what driver it was. I think it was Hackathorn. Blew a tire, or Velez, I think it was. Shot up the racetrack the second after I mentioned he was about to blow a tire. We're going to see how long he tries to stay out, but I can't imagine it's going to be for very long.
He's doing a tire just for Goodyear. Find out how long the tire will last.
You always know how that ends. Every weekend's a tire test for Goodyear. So no Eddie Gossage, no Goodyear reps in this MTV booth probably ever.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Isn't Goodyear? I think they're recalling the tire for WC. I think, right, or something like that. They signed a deal.
Yeah, it's a disastrous,
which I find hilarious.
It might be the worst deal in the history of deals.
Like out of all the tire makers, I think Goodyear's on the worst. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, Continental's pretty bad too.
Oh yeah, actually that's true. But like, I don't really. I'm talking like the big dogs. Continental's not that big in my opinion. Like I'm talking like Michelin, Dunlop, Pirelli, Firestone, Goodyear.
Yeah.
I think Goodyear's the worst.
Bridgestone? They're the worst.
Well, Bridgestone and Firestone are like the same.
Oh, they are the same.
Different branches.
Stone, like a stone. So tires are. Oh, he's look how much he's pushing up the track.
Yeah.
I think the tire is gone. I think it's gone. No, he's way slow. It's going. It's got to be going this lap. I'm telling you, it's coming. I think the aliens had on and everything. It's happening.
Definitely. If it's not this lap.
Oh my goodness. This is gonna be a 35-second lap. This is this is not good at all. Across the line for Mickey, 33 seconds. That's 3 seconds off pace. He's just hoping and praying for a caution that he's probably not gonna get. Look at how much that car is understeering.
Yeah, everyone's blowing on by him. It's Delicado in the lead, 2.5 seconds up on Frankenfield. Where's Grunberg?
Back down in 5th. Remember, Delicado beat him to pit lane by a couple laps.
Wow, but still, that's amazing. It's almost a 7-second gap now between them.
I don't dare pull the camera off this car. Oh man, that car is not handling well.
A little bit faster that last lap.
3.29, that was only a half a tenth quicker. That's really grasping at straws there. On board of the 3 at 10 are Sharp as he goes by. It's like he's not even running the same category.
Yeah, Sharp had something that happened to him. He was 2 laps down, now he's 1 lap down. He's pretty far behind.
They come back down pit lane maybe for a penalty. I don't know, but he's falling off the pace. Working out towards the end of this, and Mickey's really just grasping for a caution at this point. This race he's going to be finishing way. Oh man,
he's the only car that's yet to come down to the pits.
I'm telling you, this tire is it's grasping for life. I'm gonna be so excited when it blows.
Tire abuse reported.
That's a John Heinhoff quote. Be reported for abusing his relation. No, I'm saying he would.
Oh, okay.
He's been reported. Oh, here he comes. Here he comes this time. He's got him this time.
Would love to see the tire percentage.
And Nick Delicado just passed him, so that was for the lead. I think that's why he came to pit lane, is because he's about to lose the lead. He's going to be a lap down by the end of this, so that really didn't work out for him.
Yeah, I think he was just kind of hoping things will work out. Unfortunately, in this case, it did not work out.
Well, for Nick Delicado, he's got a 3.5-second lead and pulling away. The only car that's quicker is Matt Grunberg, 30.0, so 0.3 quicker, but he's 6.3 seconds back. Yeah. There's the gap. I mean, Delicado's got this thing wrapped up, and this is good. If he can get a couple point advantage over Grunberg, I don't know what the points gap is coming into the night, but he'll make up at least a few points.
It's 21 points, so they'll make up something. Where they're doing just normal like NASCAR points, 1 point per position. So he'll make up a few, maybe down at 19, 18. I'm thinking Delicato's going to get points for leading the most laps.
Maybe it's too early to call this. He's still got a little ways to go, and Grunberg again, that time was 4/10 quicker than Delicato. Still a 6-second differential, but I don't think it's out of the question that he gets back down.
I think he'll get up in a second. I don't think he'll be able to bring that gap down for first.
So there's the leader. And the Grunberg, oh, caution!
Oh!
Caution waves, and for who?
Race Clark in the 22, I think. Oh, yeah. Major damage
sure?
this car. I think so, because that car was running out on the track until a little while ago.
Oh, yeah. Down in turn 1. Oh!
That was odd.
Wow.
He didn't get that long tongue.
I've never seen anything like that in my life.
That was a good one.
Hold on. Let's right on board here. As he comes across the start
He
finish.
came to the pits.
Hold on. You just misjudged this and just run into the wall?
I'm thinking either that or maybe...
That was really weird. I can't say I've seen that before.
Look at his wheel though. It's like perfectly straight. Well, after he gets to the wall. Pretty odd. Huh. I don't know. Something is kind of weird. Can't quite pull my finger on it.
Oh, that's a nasty hit. It's kept in it. And ground to a halt. So, caution out. And that changes everything. You know who hated to see that caution? Is Eric Mickey. He said it had come out 2 laps before.
Now he's a lap down.
And now he's lapped down, not even a free pass car either. So
Yeah, you think he'll be...
He'll get a wave around.
Yeah, he'll get the wave around.
And actually, in that way, it's a little bit fortuitous, but he's still going to be in the back of the pack. So the rest of the leaders hit pit lane, and Grunberg just breathed a sigh of relief because he'll get a shot at Delicato now.
Only thing he's Delicato's got to do is make sure he doesn't overrun his pit stall. We saw it do him on the last...
We saw it do him. On the
Yeah, we
last.
saw it do him on the...
Oh, right. That's a little graphic for CTV.
During the
Supposed to be a
last
family-friendly
caution.
show, but...
During the last caution, he overshot his pit stall perfectly and stopped this time.
Okay, so we're going to have just over 20 laps to go. We come to the restart. And he'll win the race off pit lane. Frankfield second, Grunberg, James Miller up into fourth, Gable fifth, Clark, Fisher, Hines, Hackathorn, Cole. Oh, Oosterhuis. Round out your top 10.
Let's see what Gable's got in store. He was looking like a pretty solid option. He's just really far back, and now I think he's finally gone past a lot of the midfield guys. Now he's working the guys from the front.
I don't think he's been aggressive enough today. Yeah, and this has been the case all season long. He's a long-run driver that likes to kind of work on the pace over the course of a run. I have yet to see him really charge and go for something, and he needs to completely change his mindset with just over 20 laps to go. You can't back out. You got to go for it. We have not really seen that out of Gable enough to make me think he's got a chance to win this thing, unless he, I mean, we go green to the end, maybe, but his pace all came from the long run that we saw earlier in the day, that 60 to 80 lap run that we saw. So I think for him, he would have rather had this caution about 30 laps ago to have a long run to the end, but that's not the case here. So Delicato leads this race. Frankfield, Grunberg, Miller, Gable, Clark. And Fisher, Hines, Hackathorn, Klooster's the rest of your top 10. Corey Lindsay back on the lead lap in the 00. So is Justin Kolb and Eric Mickey.
Lindsay out of gas or something?
Yep. How that happened, but out of fuel. He just forgot to check it when he came down. Oh, no, he's on a 66 lap bold run and just ran the tank out of gas, so he's going to have to slowly creep to pit lane.
Ironically, too, is that he was the free pass recipient. Might put him back a lap down.
Oh, it almost certainly will. One of those oopsie moments, you don't really realize how low on fuel you actually are. So now we know he can go 66 laps.
65.
No, or 66.8 if we're getting real technical.
Where's the pace car? I'm curious. Oh, he's had some time.
He's on the lead lap now, I guess. Is he to make it to his box, though? Is the
No.
question.
I think his pit stall is close to the beginning of it here.
He's gonna lose a lap. So here is 00, and Delicato is now in turn 4. It's gonna be real close.
I'll help you. Get the pit stall. I think
This is like the Lightning
thing.
McQueen, like, oh, one-man show. You know, and he like peels off.
Trying to beat the pace car out.
There it is. He's just gonna take a splash and go if he
yeah.
wants to stay on the lap. I'm not sure that he is aware how close it is.
Splash and dash. Come
Oh,
on.
he's taking fuel, I think, or
Oh,
tires. I mean.
yeah, that's definitely gonna put him a lap down. Well,
Oh, 2 tires.
Oh,
and he's off.
Go.
Go.
And just like the movies.
That was awesome.
Yeah. See, now the problem is though, he's gonna come back in because I don't think.
He only took right sides.
Oh no, you should have enough fuel. Oh, this is where
He only took right side tires. Well, no tires, just gas.
at least I was gonna say at least he didn't do a full McQueen and didn't take no tires.
I'm a one-man show.
Left side will be fine, hopefully.
You need tires, you idiot! Was there a car stuck? Am I just going crazy? Okay, I think I am. I thought I saw a car like embedded in the wall in turn 3, which would not be a rare occurrence around here.
No, especially after the IndyCar.
I was going to say, the Indy cars.
This thing,
That's like throwing a ball at a dart. A ball at
Alright. Oh man, that was funny.
a dart at a wall of foam. That's what I was going for. Oops.
Alright. On that note, restart.
Hate myself. 94 of 117. Let's turn him loose in Delicados on the restart. Green flag back in the air from Texas.
Remember trying to get a good run on the inside. He's side by side with Frankel heading down into turn 1.
He's
And
clear.
looks like, yeah, he's not going to have much of a fight. Grumber now set his sights on the lead.
You better get up there and do it now, because Indelicado is incredibly fast. Once the cars get strung out side by side behind him, that's Hackathorn on the inside of Richard Hines' 87.
Albert Gable lurking back there in behind the 50. You can get around Frankenfield. He can have a shot at fighting. Once those guys fight for the lead, he can throw his hand to the ring. Whoa, and
Turned way down the racetrack. Oh, the 51's in the wall! Indelicado way up the racetrack, and he's in the fence.
Oh, wow, I saw him take
Behind
a
the caution.
line. Oh, big crash in turns 1 and 2. But not before Indelicado just completely missed the turn and went up into the wall. Not sure what happened to him there, but that was interesting to watch, to say the least.
Gets off into the corner and just never turns in, just misses the turning point, gets up in the gray, no rubber down there, and just, that's it. I mean, you get out of the groove.
Bizarre.
We've seen how sensitive it is. You miss that right, he's already way offline, just doesn't make the corner.
Yeah.
This is exactly how it is in the real world. If you miss this turn-in, you just shoot up the track. That's perfectly representative of how this track drives. It's just really interesting that Nick missed it by that much.
Yeah, I'm just interested too. You can even hear on the engine. What I'm surprised about is that he entered high and then he continued on the throttle for quite a bit.
I just don't think he realized.
But you see, he
He just didn't react in time. I think he just got up there and didn't realize that he might have been looking in the mirror, because the 54 dives left here. He looks in the mirror, and that half a second that he delays, he just gets up the racetrack. So there's what happened to the 51. Let's go back a little bit, find what happened to the 94 car.
We saw side-by-side action with Hines.
Goodman, maybe? Oh no, Hines was, the 94 is going to dive in here. Clobber the 87, turns him around.
It's turned around by Goodman. Coe gets involved as well.
Wow, big mess back here. 94 just drives in too hard, tags the 87, sends him around for a loop. Back it hard into the wall, and you see the 94 and 44 come up the racetrack as well. Goodman got a bunch of damage from that. It is at full speed from the same angle. That's a wild corner. And in some ways, a blessing for Indelicado. I mean, come on down pit lane, and he has done so. Repair any damage that you have.
What? You okay?
What's going on now?
That's going thick with the wall?
This is a replay of what just happened. Not sure if he's inspecting the racetrack or what. clearing it off for marbles so he can go down. What is he doing?
You got a pedal lane?
Hop into the tail. That could be. He hasn't hit pit lane yet, though. What is going on?
No, he's checking the 51.
I think he's been bait and switched.
First he used
He ran 3/4 of this race out in front of everybody, and now he doesn't look like he knows where the throttle pedal is.
It's like oh, he gets back to the speed. It's like Ricky Bobby when he's just getting back in the car and trying to relearn how to drive.
How he what? Might have been told to pass or to let some cars by, but
Perhaps.
car sounds like it's chugging, like it's running on milk or something. What can Brown do for you?
Through that whole mess. Whoever's gonna take the lead. Frankel's gonna line up in second, Gable in third, Miller.
What is happening?
Clark and
What is going on tonight? Is it a full moon outside?
I don't know.
I can't see the moon.
Look, what's on the internet?
New moon model. Oh, we have 20 laps to go. That wasn't. It's a waning crescent.
What's new?
Cool. As we roll out of turn.
Oh, your birthday's almost on.
It's like the last percent of a waning crescent.
Yeah.
It's like my. Waning crescent. All right, so coming to the. You gotta stop smacking your laptop on my desk. You're gonna break your stuff. I smashed my laptop screen last year. I was being stupid.
Oh yeah, I forgot you did.
I still haven't fixed the bezel. It's still kind of rolled.
Really?
There's $20 in it, 4 screws. So where's Indelicado, you ask? Well, he is now the tail end of the lead lap, all the way back in 17th. God knows why.
Yeah, it's. I'm still amazed at that mistake. That pretty much cost him the race then and there. Unless there's a big wreck.
It reminds me so much of what happened to Kyle Busch here last year. Same thing. I think he was running third at the time. Got off into the corners, missed the turn, and just shot straight up the track and into the wall. I mean, it was just amazing to see how line sensitive it was. But the rubber's been baked in, and actually, if you take a look, you can see the dark stuff. That's where all the rubber is. You get out of that, it's gray, no grip.
Yeah, you can see where almost no one's been touching the track. Everyone's been very much to the bottom half of the track. I mean, pretty similar story in 3 and 4.
Yeah, not quite as bad. It's not. You see, there's actually some black way up against the wall too. Tire dragging out there. So coming to the restart, 18 laps ago. That's about 9 minutes worth of racing. Gruenberg, Frankenfield, sharing that front row. 15 car is the 54 car is the leader as we get the green flag here. 18 laps left.
Or restart for Frankenfield is going to be the 0-9 of James Miller. That's a great run. Going to clear for second place.
Down the back straight. The 06 of Fisher gets on through, following his teammate James Miller. And now they're second and third. Frankfield falls to fourth. Gable still fifth, but Gruenberg is gone. Half a second up the road with 17 laps to go.
One of the guys doing really well at the moment up in the front few positions. Looking at Sam closing the 5, currently in the back midfield in 12th. He's got Richard Heiss' inside, so also the 88 of Mickey we haven't seen for quite a while.
No, again, he kind of fell back on that long run strategy that didn't really work out. Still trying to recover a top 10 result. Meanwhile, up the road, how about this? Gable to the inside of Jeffrey Fisher.
Yeah, I think Fisher made a mistake. That opened the door for Frankville, and now Gable to get on by. Gable going to get clear for fourth.
Tanner Sharp working on a top 5 spot here. If we could just get by the 06. And look at Hackathorn, a big dive into turn 1 right up underneath the 28 car of Josh Clark.
They're going to go pretty far out of the groove, going to go up the hill. Axon trying to build up a run on that inside. Can't quite get it done, going to pull back in line.
There's your leader.
This is, I think, what we were expecting. Grunberg out there just dominating, already a second lead back to the 09 of James Miller. Franklin, a really good run off the corner, a handful of steam down to the inside in turn 1 here.
Both going to turn off in. They both share this bottom lane. Throttles up, does the 15 to try to clear the 09, and he will move Frankenfield to second.
Yeah, we're going to try to follow on through, do the same thing on the inside now, down to 3.
And he's through. The move for Gable. Let's move Miller and Fisher back to 4th and 5th. Right behind Tanner Sharp has now caught the 06 car. It's a bit of a run of these two.
As we were talking about earlier, Tanner Sharp, we expected him to be more or less around here for most of the race, was pretty far back, and now he's finally up in the top position. He's going to look barely to the inside. He's been loving this move off of 2. You've seen him down there on the apron a few times, but not able to get alongside.
Can't build a run very well, but he's going to chuck it off on the inside of turn 3. Hole's going to close. Fisher taking advantage of it. He's back down in front of the 3.
You gotta be so careful as this car. If you misjudge that by a bit, you're gonna get turned around. We saw that earlier in the race with a big wreck in turn 4.
Dustin Gable now hunting Frankenfield for 2nd spot. Last time by, he was actually a hair quicker than our leader, the only driver to be faster than Chad Frankenfield. He needs to get by this 15 car quick though if he wants to take the fight to him. Oh, look at that 3 car, big dive in turn 3. Oh man, that was about to get to a body slam.
Whoa!
Oh, Miller way up the racetrack, top to bottom. Fisher through the grass.
Oh, Miller looked a little bit sideways. He was able to save it. Man, I'm amazed we didn't have a wreck there.
That was awesome. Oh, there's the check up. There he goes.
Oh,
and it's gonna hurt. Oh, driver's side into the wall in turn 2.
he hit the wall a ton.
I've never seen anything like that in my life except for half an hour ago.
Took a little while, but there was a wreck. Not the car we would have thought.
Look. It's off into 1. Bit of a checkup from the 3 right there, and then the 28 runs into the back of the 06, turns him around, gets kind of slammed first by the... Wow, that was a nasty hit. Gets first hit by the 84. That's what sends him up the track, and... Come on. Right here. Kind of lifted up off the rear tires and spins around, and then watch the 84. Just pack him right. That's actually 2 hits to the door, 1 right there. Come back up the racetrack and hit the wall driver's side first. Good thing we got safer barriers. Again in full speed. We're actually probably past it at this point. There. Oh, man. So we're getting down to the very end of this thing, but the field's going to hit pit lane. Some of the drivers at the tail do. Up at the front, well, Frankenfield's actually the first driver to hit pit lane. I like this call.
He actually brought a decent amount of guys on down. Only sitting in 6th, 7th. A few more, actually, quite a few more guys stayed out than I thought. But I guess you have to try something at this point.
I think I agree with the 51 coming down as well as the...
Ooh, and how about Eric Mickey in the 80?
Yeah, again, I think taking tires is the call here, to be totally honest with you. Well,
I would.
Except there's a lot of cars that stay out.
That's the thing, because Frankenfield leading the cars down onto pit road, he's going to come back in 10th, and that's quite a bit, because we're going to get maybe, I think, 8 laps to go, maybe 7. So I don't think it's going to work. I don't think it's going to be enough time for these guys to get through all that traffic.
How much the track surface has cooled down, over 15 degrees since we started this night. So that's brought the grip levels up. A lot of the drivers have run their best lap within the last 50 laps or so. Sound like the American Truck Simulator. Well, we got about 4 minutes worth of racing when we go back green. I'll tell you, that's not a lot of time.
Yeah.
We done crashing?
Probably not, considering you got a lot of fast guys in the back with the tires and a lot of, I don't want to say necessarily slow drivers, but guys that have been in the midfield and a little bit further back up near the front. So typically breeds chaos.
Well, we're going to come to the restart with 7 to go. Gruberg is your leader, and I like the position he's in. Gable's in an okay spot. I'm not convinced that Gable's faster than Gruberg on a short run, like I mentioned. And Nick and Delicato actually beat Frankfield off pit lane, but he has to come from 9th. So if there's another crash and he gains 3 or 4 spots, I consider him a threat. Till then, I think you got to be inside the top 4 to even have a shot. I think you got to be. I like to be in Hackathorn's position. I think Gable's going to get swamped on the restart.
Are we sure that Delicato Gable?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, Kevin
Oh,
Finn was
Finn.
the first driver on and off pit
These are
lane.
2?
Yeah, 2 tires.
Both of them took 2.
Yeah,
Okay.
2 tires for Finn and Delicato, 4 for everybody else.
That makes sense. Yeah, and I think if anything, if I were to come down pit road, I think I would have probably gone with the 2-tire call. Considering how few laps you have left. It does also depend on really how much the left sides have been used up, and I think really only these guys know how bad it's been as far as tire wear.
I don't even know if we really got an accurate sample size, but 2 tires is rarely the best call. It's usually like a fine call, but I don't think a 2-tire call is going to win you a race.
Oh, gain track. I think for like guys like Finn and
Yeah,
Delicato,
for sure.
to gain the track position.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it if I was trying to win a race because I think you got to go either 4 or none. I don't think the in between. You got to make a decision. I think 2 doesn't count. 2 is too wishy-washy for me. So 7 to go will be our restart. Gruberg chooses the outside lane, so I take it back. Eric Mickey will have a jump on the inside group.
Yeah, for Gable, I think he might have a shot at, at least fighting Gruberg for the win, but he's got to get a decent restart. So if he's good on that front, he'll have a fighting potential with the 54. But man, that's definitely the car to beat.
I don't know if I want to be in the middle of the pack right now.
No, I definitely don't. I think it is definitely going to be a wreck with some of these faster guys working their way on through with fresh rubber. It's just the difference in speed through the corners. I think is going to catch some of these guys off guard, and we see someone on the other loop around. Don't know who's going to be though.
All right, let's take a guess. Who wins this race?
Gruberg.
Okay, who crashes?
I was going to joking to say Gruberg. It's not going to be. What did I say? Costa? Oh, no, he's retired. Last night.
He's had a lot of bad luck. I think Brandon Kluserhoos is going to get the short end of a stick somewhere. Keep an eye on that gold number 94 to see if he gets turned around or spins around here. Because he's right in front of a bunch of the drivers that took tires, and he's kind of in the danger zone here. So, coming down to 7 laps to go from the 3-Wide Racing League Grand National Series from Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas. The track and the action. Green flag back in the air. 7 to go and a great launch for the 54. He's free and clear. Behind him, a stack up and a spin around and a huge crash. Tanner Sharp goes flying down to the inside groove. He saves it, picks it back up on the racetrack, but Kolb's got a little bit of damage as well.
That did not take long at all. Finn. I was thinking about Finn picking in.
Well, that car is severely damaged. He's had a pretty big hit.
Putting it lightly, honestly.
Skip scopping across the track there.
Through the corner with 3 wheels.
Let's go back and see what happened to the 14 car. Nothing good. I saw the stack up as it was kind of happening in the background, and I tried to get a shot that would show it.
Yeah, this really, I think, stemmed from Richard Hines. Watch the 87, the 3rd car on the outside lane just did not get going.
No, and there the 15 of Frankfield drives up through the back of the 14, just trying to give him a push. Oh, the 5 of Sam Close is the other car involved in that. Race Clark, look at him streaking through the grass. Well, there goes the Xfinity and Geico logos.
I really love those logos get messed up when you guys drive through it.
It is really nice. Actually, I really didn't even know that they did that until just now. Race Clark got a pretty good view of this. Look at the 3-car Tanner
He
Sharp.
didn't even wait to see where people are going. He just immediately turned left.
Better to do that than to get into it. Did the 3-car miss it? I think he just turned hard left too.
Yeah.
What a great job he did. That was awesome.
That was really good driving.
And to stay off of pit lane as well to avoid a penalty. It's so calm.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he meant to do that. He like stopped on the brakes. Watch the steering wheel.
I think he might have.
Watch the steering wheel. barely moves left.
He might have planned that. I mean, you know, when you get good at wreck avoidance, I think you can do some fancy
Do it without
footwork.
crashing yourself.
Yeah, and also do some fancy footwork with it to try to avoid it. But just really good solid avoidance there, especially considering I have it right in front of him. So gonna get back on the restart here potentially. Now we got significantly less laps to go. So the guys on fresh tires definitely out of it. They have no shot of getting back up there unless there's a massive wreck up ahead, which could very much happen.
Wow. No one really had time to pick their way through the field. They got less laps now.
Yeah, there's no shot that I think that they got up making to the front unless something happens with Grunberg or Gable that stacks everyone. So also Michael Goodman in the 44, only running in 5th. I mean, he's looking like he's got a really solid shot of finishing there.
He's had a very solid but very quiet night. Started in 8th. He's been running inside the top 10 most of the day. They haven't had the cameras on him a whole lot. He's been kind of out of the fray.
Tied for his best finish so far, the way he's running right now. His best finish of the season was at 5th at Autocorp. But it's to be on par with that.
Match that. That's where he is. All right, so we're going to have probably 2 laps to go when we come to the restart. Eric Mickey up into 3rd. And Grunberg choosing, for now at least, the inside lane. We'll see if he kind of swaps.
I don't know, I think he might stay there, considering how few laps left to go. I think just cover his bases, take that inside lane. Hope for the best.
I want that road course sooner than later.
It's gonna be later.
I was told that there was a plan to eventually finish this and release the updated track with the road course. Okay, here's the thing about this track. I would love the Texas Roval as much as I would love the Charlotte Roval if they just put something on the front straightaway to break up the monotony of the speed around this place. It's a little bit boring in a slow car, but it's actually a really good road course. In a fast car, you just want something like a chicane in the middle of the front straightaway, just to mix it up a little. Put the start line down towards between the cake between the quad oval and turn 1. Just something, you know?
Yeah, I don't know.
This is the infield road course is great.
Yeah.
But you just gotta, when you tack the oval on, you gotta do something fun like Charlotte did. You know? Maybe come off the banking, go down the hill through a little chicane, then back up onto the straight. Just something, give you a braking zone to do something with, so you're not flat floor around there.
If they do something, I just hope they don't just copy paste the Charlotte.
But they
chicane.
can. I don't know.
They're gonna if they do
a
it.
Baltimore chicane, where you just have curves that are 3 feet apart, and you just drive straight through it.
Nothing should ever be copied from Baltimore.
You're not
they
wrong.
No. And then they just put the tracks, not railroad tracks.
Railroad tracks? Yeah, it was tracks.
Well, it wasn't railroad tracks,
Yeah,
but it was like for a trolley. It wasn't like a...
Okay, that's. Okay, are you gonna get technical between trolley? Are you kidding me?
Well, no, because railroad. I'm talking like
it's the same thing.
When I think of railroad tracks, I think of like you know.
It's the same rail.
I know, yeah, rail. There you go.
It's different.
No, because it doesn't have like the wooden part. I know it's like structured.
It's the same gauge, the same rail. If they don't have they're called ties, by the way. Okay.
What, the wooden part?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. That's the difference.
That's not the.
I know, I know the actual important part of like where the touching the metal.
Oh my goodness.
The actual rail.
You're so fired. You're so fired.
I'm sorry. Okay, I know you like trains.
I'm so disappointed.
I don't know anything about trains.
You don't need. I'm telling you that they're the same thing.
Okay, anyway, so what I was saying is that they're just gonna pave rail, or not pave rails, but they're just gonna insert rails that they have to go through. Anyway, restart.
I'm disappointed in you. 2 laps to go. This time through. Grunberg is your leader. He restarts on the outside lane. Right behind him, Matt Hackathorn in the Valley Vape 84. Green flag back in the air, 3 miles to go. Another stack up behind the 87. He is having trouble getting going. And we're racing to the end here. Gable already about 5 car lengths back. Yeah. No one able to keep up in the 54 on these restarts.
Yeah, I think Gable's been hoping for a caution to happen, which might is Indalcado looking up the middle. He's going to be impatient. He's trying to make up as many spots as possible. Didn't get a chance to on the last restart, 3 wide out of 2.
And trying to keep the gap on Grunberg. relatively modest. Again, the 51 was actually set to gain points on the 54. That's not going to happen. He's just now trying to lessen the blow as they roll through 3 and 4. Klooster, who gets jacked up out of 4. The 09 gets turned. He spins out of the final quarter. White flag in the air this time through will stay green.
We're finishing this lap. Gable catching back up, but I think it's going to be too little too late. Just didn't have enough time to really contest with the 54. We'll see if he's got anything.
He's trying. Couple car lengths between them. A big stack up out of turn 2. Look at it, everybody. 2 wide in the background. Final quarter for Gruenberg. 3 wide into turn 3. The 51 drives in there. The 87 gets loose. They crash in turn 4. Checker flag waves for the 54. Gruenberg, he wins from Texas. Gable P2, 2 tenths behind. Then Mickey.
Oh, there goes coming through the
all crashing as they come to the line. Oh, that's going to hurt.
The Gardner for Texas Motor Speedway is going to be annoyed, to say the least, as 3 guys came spinning across the line through the grass.
That Gruenberg is really good. I think we've established that at this point.
I would hope so.
We'll go back and look at the finish in just a minute. But for Matt Gruenberg, another victory on the season. It will extend his points lead. He'll get to celebrate in Fort Worth tonight.
Actually, only his second win of the season.
I don't believe it. Doing what James Miller did last night. They all figured out how to do this, and it's amazing.
I was going to see Legends Oval.
Nice. Wow. They're getting too good at this.
Oh, he has a lot of practice. I didn't complete it, but still, really good burnout nonetheless. I can't judge. I never get a chance to do it. Anyway, on that note, but I was just looking at the stats page for the. Well, that's an awesome angle. I was just looking at the stats for him. So, including tonight's race, he's had 31 wins in 3 wide, and the way the percentage works out, out of all 3 wide events, he's won 1/3 of them that he's entered.
It's like Kyle Busch in the trucks.
Yeah.
Actually, more like Xfinity. I think he does a little bit better there than he does in the trucks. But Matt Gruenberg, good. Established that by this point, like I said earlier. We're going to go back and take a look at the finish here in just a second. Take a look at the incident out of turn 4. It all started with the 87 getting fired up, and let's take a look at how that all happened here in just a moment. And it was that 51 car that got into the back of him. I think he really just needed to go. Take a look. A sweep to the inside, drove off in there. I think he fully intended to have some space. The 87 didn't give it to him.
I actually heard the 51 Linda Licata because he got just swamped by everyone else. You see Corey Lindsay go for a spin. Hackathorn and Cope decided to just chuck it into the infield.
These are all separate incidents, really. Oh, that was like, the 28.
Synchronized spinning.
Yeah. That was all there was really to see there. But, all right, we'll be back in just a moment to talk to your race winners. Stay with us. Welcome back live to Sim TV and the 3 Wide Racing League Grand National Series. We're here now with Matt Grunberg, the race winner. Matt, you are really good. I think we've talked to you plenty the last couple of weeks, but tonight weren't the dominant car by any stretch of the imagination. But when you got out front towards the end, restarts, you were just able to just continue nailing those and driving away. Walk us through your charge forward this evening.
Yeah, I kind of learned early on, starting in second wasn't the way to go. I kind of got left on one of those restarts. And so then I just started in first from then on out. I don't know if everybody else was or not. But I was working my way through the field, and I kind of burned off my tires getting past some people. And then I was able to manage the gap between me and Nick there for a while. But then he started pulling a couple tenths on me each lap. And then I thought we had a good strategy, kind of over pitting. And then we were gaining about 3/10 a lap on Nick there. It would have been interesting to see it go green. I don't think I would have got to him, but it definitely would have been interesting. It seems like that's how these races go. We get a few cautions at the beginning, a good long run, and then something happens to give us a bunch of cautions at the end. But yeah, and then from then on out, it was just I gave the rest of the AV guys a good restart, and we were able to get 1, 2, 3 there for a little while, and then I think Jeffrey got into a little bit of trouble, kind of ruined his night, and then James kind of also got into some trouble. But all in all, I would have rather raced Nick. I think he got a lane change there, and he ended up having to go to the back. But I would have rather raced him for the win than win it like this. But it was a good win, and I can never complain. This is my home track. This is where I got my first win in the Bandoleros, so it's always a special time coming back to Texas.
Matt, congratulations. Another win in the belt for the 54. Thanks for talking.
Thanks.
Justin Gable finished in second place tonight, and Justin, for you, started 22nd, tail of the field, came up and finished P2. Probably needed a couple more laps to have anything for Grunberg, but would you have had anything for him if you had another lap or 3?
No, I would have needed like 40 laps because I was catching him on that green flag run. He was like 5 seconds in front of me, and I brought it down to like I think 3.5 before we pit, and I felt like I was pretty fast in that green flag run. I didn't want to see that caution, but I also knew that Grunberg was running away from me after the pit stops, but I was hoping to get him back near the end. The caution came out. Race was basically going to be a caution fest after that, and short run speed was going to be king, and I did not have any of it.
Justin, I think tonight we saw a lot of aggression on those last couple of restarts. Walk us through the run through turns 1 and 2, the challenges that you face there with everyone kind of trying to go for that one bottom groove.
Well, when you get a bunch of Dale Earnhardt Jr. wannabes, they're driving way over their head, and this is what gets the wrecks. Like for me, that one restart, I was back in the middle of the gulag there, and I got used, right? I got used. I just took my time, was patient, tried not to burn my stuff up, and then when I got clear of them, I took off. I left them all in the dust. It was just, you got to be careful. You got to keep your nose clean, and also be aggressive at the same time. If somebody throws a block, just back out of it. Don't have to push it 3 wide, and keep yourself in it.
Gable, second place tonight in the 13, Justin. Thanks for talking.
Thanks.
Moving on now to Eric Mickey, who finished in third place tonight in his return back to 3 Wide Racing League action. Eric, tonight looked like he had a car that was capable of winning and a driver capable of winning as well, but ended up third after a strategy didn't quite pan out. Walk us through your night in those last couple restarts.
Yeah, no, I was, I thought I was good at the start, and then that long green flag run showed that I have a lot to learn about racing these things again. And for as long as I stayed out, I ended up hitting a lap or two too early, got caught a lap down. So that was a bit of a mess to have to try to come through the field there. But, never really got a short run that was long enough to see if I could do anything with the guys up front.
Talk to us about this new Texas. Obviously, the old Texas is a lot better for racing in several different ways, but this new track a challenge in a different way. Do you find it trickier to pass than one end of the racetrack versus the other? And how was the multi-groove, if there was any, tonight?
Oh, there wasn't really. I mean, maybe had options, but 3 and 4, you didn't have any options but to try to be on that white line and try not to slide high coming off the corner into the wall like a bunch of us did tonight. It's hard to say if it's necessarily better for racing. I never really was a fan of the old Texas either. I thought that was pretty one groove too. But I mean, at least it's different. It's a little bit more interesting than both sides of the track being the same. So, I mean, I guess I appreciate it for that aspect of it.
Eric, congrats on your return to Three Wide Racing League, and for a third place, a solid top 5 tonight. Hope to see you back.
Thanks. I'll be back next week.
So we're told to go back, take another look at the finish for 5th spot there, Phineas. So I think we might have, maybe just take another look at it from a different angle here, but pretty wild. It's hard to get a camera shot. Wow. Okay, let's slow that down. It's hard to get a camera shot that sees all of what that fight was for, but it was for Kolb, and the 52 was the driver ended up finishing in 5th. 52 slip and slide. There's the 84.
Oh yeah, this is what happened in the grass.
Oh, I see. Okay. Oh.
Yeah, 55 thousandths of a second between Koba and Hackathorn as they were sliding across the grass. There's the gap. Right there.
Let's go back a little bit and see if I can get this in slow motion. As they were coming out of 4. And I think the 52 slid and the 84 just committed to the grass, and there was...
And then Koba saw, okay, if you're going to go through the grass, so will I.
And I don't even know if that was totally intentional, but they come across the line. There was Mickey in 3rd, Goodman, and for 5th...
Wait for it. There
we go. Wow. Great shots there. All right, that's going to do it for the race tonight. Here's one last look at your race results before we head to, tomorrow night will be 2 different things. We've got the Fuel Premier Mission 22 series from Talladega, and then we'll also have Grid Life Quarantine Cup. That'll be on Grid Life's YouTube channel tomorrow night at 8:45. So make sure you see us there. Have a wonderful night.